Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. Hope everyone's having a great rainy Thursday, or as great as you possibly can get. As we fall season is officially here, so still tons of golf left for most people, it feels like. So anyway, here we are. Joining me is Mr. Rich Capali. Rich, how you doing, buddy boy?
Not too bad. This rain is depressing.
Yeah, we were
kind of mad.
Yeah, remember you wanted to play golf today?
I did. I text you like a madman.
Thankfully, we didn't sign up for that round.
Yeah, it's like I get really pissed off when I can't play on my day off. But other than that, I mean, just hanging out, watching the President's Cup. Yeah. Other than that, nothing really.
Yeah, the President's Cup going on, and I mean, from the looks of it, as we sit here and watch it at 3:30 in the afternoon, approximately, it looks like this thing is going to go as predicted and pretty much be over by like Saturday night. It feels like, but still some interesting things in it, I guess. It's too bad they can't build off the momentum of the 2019 President's Cup. Obviously, that was several years away. That was so thrilling, and it looks like this one, is going to be a real blowout. There's a good chance it's going to be a blowout, but we'll get to some of that. We have some local stuff, a few local things to get to as well. But first, let me tell you that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Linkstrings. Linkstrings is best known for their transfusion in a can. Transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. Check out Linkstrings at liquor stores and country clubs near you. And so thanks to our friends at Linkstrings. As always, obviously, lots going on in the professional world. Still with Liv. Rich is repping the Liv hat. And still and obviously the President's Cup. President's Cup obviously being terribly hurt by the departure of the Liv players, especially on the international side. That's becoming obvious. But a couple of local things quickly to hit on. Rich didn't join us last week as he was working, so I just did a live Triggs for him. Thank you to everybody who joined in. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was important. And I felt that was the biggest talking point at the time, obviously, with the Triggs and the bids. So everyone, thanks to everyone who tuned in, asked questions, commented, left their thoughts, and also followed up with our quick poll that we did that weekend. I don't know how much you looked at the bids. I don't imagine you read through the entire bids. Not that I would expect you to. There's no reason to. But your thoughts on the Triggs situation just in general as we kind of move forward here. Obviously, I think it's an important issue for golf, just in general. But did you have any thoughts on that? Or?
No, not really. I have certain opinions about the people who run it now, but I'm going to keep them to myself. But I think Riga can and should be a good fit over there. I mean, Triggs is one of the more known public courses in the state, so you may as well have the state golf entity run it. But yeah, I mean, I think Riga will be a good fit.
Yes, I mean they made the best. I thought they made the best bid. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I think they made the best bid. I guess that's not necessarily how this all works, though. So we'll see. We'll watch it over the next few weeks to a month or so and see what happens. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to everybody for reading our content related to that story. Again, I think it's just a sneaky big story to watch over kind of the fall into the early winter months here. Who wins the bid. So we'll continue to keep track of that. But thanks to everybody for last week and the poll. Also, we have our other poll out, our big survey out. Now we just launched yesterday. It was delayed a couple of days because of Triggs stuff. I wanted to kind of give people a break from survey after survey. So make sure you fill that out. Obviously, this is a survey for the long haul. But it's been cool to see the data already coming in and different different data points and different things. So be sure to check out that survey. It's on our Facebook page. It's obviously on the website as well. And I want to pin it actually to the top of the Facebook page. I just been busy with some other things. So check out that survey. We're going to get some really, really cool data out of it. I think we're already getting cool data out of it for various number of stories and other things down the road. Rich did the survey. Not that you have to give your answers, but I know you had to kick out some of the questions.
Oh yeah, the sandbagging one was my favorite. Have you ever been beaten by a sandbagger before? Yes.
Well, thankfully we didn't phrase the question quite like that, but yeah. So check out the handicap survey that we have up on our website, and trying to get as many responses as possible. Tell your friends to do it, share it with people, make sure everybody does it. So we try to get a lot of responses over the next few weeks to a month or so, and go from there. So thanks everybody on that. Other local things. Davis Chatfield advanced to stage two of Q school. I think we already went over this. Christopher and Core hasn't played his stage one yet. We have Patrick Welsh is playing in the Shriners Open, which is early October. October 6th to the 9th. So we'll have coverage of that once that gets here. And also on a local front, congrats to the Kirkbrey boys on winning the Ryder Cup last week, as Golf News or I covered. It was tied at 8 going into the final round of Sunday singles, and then Kirkbrey kind of took over from there. So congrats to Kirkbrey for winning the cup back. And you have your Ryder Cup coming up, right?
Yeah, I think it's first week of October, I believe. A weekend, sorry, of October. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think we're home on Saturday, away on Sunday. It was supposed to be the opposite way, but they have a tournament on Saturday, so we kind of get screwed with the home field on the second day. But it'll be fun. I'm out for blood this year. I want to be. I think I went what? I think I went.
You played 2 years ago, didn't you?
1-1. I think no, last year. Last year I played.
Last year too.
I played two. This will be my third.
What was the year you had that big comeback? Didn't you have like a big comeback, you and your partner or something? You personally, I mean, not like King's Crossing, but didn't you have like a big comeback or something?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rallied a little bit, so that was nice. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. No, I lied. I did not play last year. I played the year before and the year before that. I don't remember. Regardless, whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. First weekend of October. Pinecrest is nice. I really enjoy playing there. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to play those type of events, and hopefully one of these years I'll make the Kirkbrey Ryder Cup team. That would be cool. But until then, it's fun to watch it and support friends and watch some good golf. Not all good golf, but some good golf. So that's kind of the local thing. Obviously, the season is kind of winding down here, for sure. So we'll have some end of golf season stuff, and pretty soon it'll be winter time and college basketball time. And I looked at my ESPN Plus app the other night, and the Rangers are playing on Monday. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I think the Bruins are playing on Saturday.
Crazy. So
I think training camp opened up yesterday, I believe.
That could be, yeah. So yeah, it's just crazy how fast time flies. But don't worry, we'll have you throughout the winter. We have all kinds of stuff, including the survey and other projects. So, but yeah, the local season is kind of winding down. It's been a fun year, for sure. And now we kind of focus on the pro game a little bit, and with some college stuff mixed in. I was talking to my uncle on the phone earlier, and I was saying how crazy it is that so many kids from Rhode Island are playing college golf all over literally the country. I just always think that's, for such a small state with such a short golf season of what, 3 or 4 or 5 months, maybe at the most, even that's probably
give or take, yeah.
It's amazing how many kids. Now, granted, these kids go out and they go on tournaments and stuff, so it's not like they're stuck in Rhode Island. But It's still amazing. Always amazing to see, or always amazing to me, how many kids are playing college golf, whether it's Division I or Division III. You're still playing collegiate sports. So I always think that's pretty cool. It's been cool to see. It's been cool to try to cover them as much as possible. Alexis Fleury had a big finish the other day for Indiana. And Patrick Walsh is sliding down the PGA Tour U rankings, but as I said in the article, Oklahoma hasn't played in 2 weeks, so they're back in action. They're back in action on Monday. Remember, PGA Tour U changed their thing. Now it's the top 10 players get Korn Ferry Tour membership next season, and the top 5 players get fully exempt. So Patrick is right now 11, but he'll go back up once they kind of start playing more. I'm sure playing that PGA Tour tournament in a few weeks won't hurt. So that's kind of what we're watching locally. As far as that kind of stuff goes, there's still some local tournaments left. I think we'll certainly cover the King's Crossing Ryder Cup. It's always an exciting event. Maybe we'll have a camera on Rich and follow you around.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I might actually do it. Don't tempt me. So
me.
Yeah, so there's that. But other than that, it's basically kind of the focus shifts kind of to the pro game, and this week has kind of been more chaos with a letter being written with Liv writing a letter to the OWGR. Combine that with the President's Cup stuff going on, and obviously Liv.
Did you see that thing about the QBE shootout?
And Greg Norman, Greg Norman being banned from
the feelings mutual.
So shit continues to go on here.
I love it.
Overall, as I was thinking this the other day, we're going to get into some President's Cup stuff too. Sorry.
Spit it out.
Overall, has this been what you expected of the Liv PGA Tour battle, or has this been a lot worse than you expected?
No. Like I said in previous episodes, it's all petty bullshit. It's gonna I'm hoping it's eventually gonna what's it called? They'll eventually find some way to grease each other's wheels and coexist and stuff like that eventually. But I do honestly believe Rory, JT, they're being real petty school kids right now. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it'll eventually figure itself out. These guys just have to figure out how to get rank WGR rankings so that they can play in the majors. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah. I think Max Homa in his presser said this week, he said, look, to me, he's like, it looks like that they should get world ranking points, but you can't just say, hey, we need world ranking points. It's like
I don't think they'll ever grant the tour, Liv. They'll never grant Liv that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of keep going. I will say that, I thought Jay Monahan has been mostly terrible in this whole thing, but I will say, I watched his interview yesterday on Golf Channel. Some people are calling it now the PGA Tour channel. And he said, when asked about working with Liv and stuff, he said the thing you have to remember is they're suing us. So, I was like,
it's true.
If somebody's suing you, you're not going to necessarily work with them, right? If you're suing me, you're not going to do a podcast with me, I don't imagine.
No.
So I thought that was a fair point in that part of it, but mostly he's been not great in this whole thing, in my opinion. But
he comes out like a catty little girl in this whole thing. So but it is what it is.
Yeah. And Liv is their next tournament is, I think, in a couple of weeks, right? Is this the one in Jeddah?
I believe so.
And then they have the final one at Doral for $50 million.
Oh yes, that is going to be amazing.
Nobody can beat the 4 aces.
No, nobody. I mean, nobody ever will. I mean, that's the 4. That's like the 4. Well,
3 of the best players.
3.5. Because Perez can play. Like 3.5 of the best players that they got. You know what I mean? From from the PGA. So, barring them shaking it up with trades and stuff like that, or however, I'm not sure how
Mhm.
how that works in the off season as far as like trades and rosters and stuff like that. They're gonna win it every year. They're gonna win it pretty probably every team event, unless one of the other teams gets super hot and overtakes them.
I mean, other teams. It seems like other teams have come close though. At least
Yeah,
over
but
the
like
last 2 of them.
the Majestics when we were there, they
The
came close.
The Ironheads, I think, came close once in that
Yeah,
tournament.
so
This past week, see, I didn't watch the whole thing this past week, but it seemed like
I watched pretty much. I watched the last like 2 or 3 hours when I got home from golf. So it was pretty. It was. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Oh no, it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun to watch. No, I'm totally. I don't. I just don't get this. I don't sit and watch every minute of it, but I try to check it out. And I follow Peter Uline had a great finish. So I was rooting for him, obviously.
He had a good weekend.
Yeah, he had a great weekend. He almost won the whole thing, and kind of. But Cam Smith is always too good. So I follow from a local perspective with Peter, but it is fun. As someone who, as I've said, as someone who appreciates college golf and high school golf, which again is all teams, it's all team golf, and individual too. But most of the focus of it is teams. It's fun to see kind of teams in golf, and we'll see what they do with their first full year next year, where they're doing 14 tournaments or whatever it is, and the whole league and different things. But no, it's totally interesting, totally exciting, and as we experienced, the atmosphere there, generally speaking, is pretty cool too. So you gotta like that. Speaking of cool atmospheres, well, what should be a cool atmosphere is the President's Cup, and just watching some of it. I watched most of the first round so far, like you have probably, and this seems like it's not going to be ideal, which is too bad because I felt like the President's Cup really had some momentum after 2019, and then obviously COVID hit and it was moved back, and then
the Ryder Cup's going to suffer the same thing. Not
but the Europeans, can't talk today. The Europeans are deeper than the internationals.
True. I mean, they have Rory's there with the Ryder Cup and stuff like that. I get that, but
you just have Rory and Rom. Plus, Europe's going to be at home this year or next year.
So it's in Italy. That's right. Yeah.
That's still going to be a challenge, whether they're playing against professionals or whether me and you are playing for Team Europe. That's still going to be a challenge, but yeah, it looks like the U.S. is handling business so far, and as we tape this podcast, there's really nothing that exciting going on.
My boy Sanjay is keeping it close against Spieth and Thomas.
Yeah, I can't believe they're already one up. I was fascinated with Tom Kim. He looks like he's going to be a good player, or already is a good player, obviously. But it looks like it's so funny that I don't understand why I don't change this. They say like President's Cup rookies, but the kids played in our Ryder Cup. Like shuffle a President's Cup rookie. It just sounds like so silly.
Yeah.
He played in the Ryder Cup. Like
he was on the Ryder Cup team that absolutely blew them out in the friggin' thing. So
yeah. So that's going on. We'll talk some about that. The Quail Hollow. It should be interesting, but let's do some more of that, and then we'll get into maybe some other sports to kind of wrap up the show here on this beautiful.
It's hella windy out. Holy crap!
Yeah, on this beautiful September day, we'll take a quick break. This is the Golf Dudes podcast. We'll be right back. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast presented by Links Drinks. Thanks to Links Drinks for all their support. Check them out at liquor stores and country clubs near you. They're in approximately 20 country clubs across the state of Rhode Island. So look for those guys out. Look for those guys and all their different flavors. So as we were going to break, we started talking about the President's Cup. We talked a little bit about Liv. Liv still has obviously 2 tournaments left, including a big one at Doral for $50 million first place prize. They continue to stir the pot with letters to DOWGR. I guess Greg Norman went to Capitol Hill yesterday and kind of got killed by these lawmakers or whatever. At least that's what I'm reading. Read on Twitter anyway. So all kinds of things going on. I don't know if they'll ever get world ranking points.
I mean, the only option is to play what on the Asian tour, right?
Yeah, basically.
So
So now all these guys are playing in like the Alfred Dunhill. I hope that's
so links, the championship links, yeah.
So that'll be interesting. And then we have obviously the President's Cup going on, but it seems like it's going to be over by Saturday. Unfortunately, because I think that PGA Tour really needed a good finish or a good tournament this week for the President's Cup. Now no one's going to watch. No one's going to watch on Saturday because it was college football, and most certainly no one's going to watch on Sunday because of the NFL. And so it looks like this is turning into a disaster for the tour, which isn't completely their fault, obviously. But where did you stand on? I mean, again, like Jay Monahan said, and like I said,
Siwoo got one back, 2 up. Shuffler's 2 up now.
Would you have obviously you would have liked to seen the Liv guys play, but it would have been interesting because some of these guys really are mad at these other guys that left the PGA Tour. So it would have been interesting.
It's just everybody's being just a bunch of babies. I get the whole where the money comes from thing, but like a guy pretty much besides Cam Smith, DJ, and that's pretty much it. Like
Brooks.
all those guys, Brooks maybe, yeah, Brooks. They know that they're not going to make a lot of money through the PGA anymore. You know what I mean? So why not go to an alternate league that's going to pay them a shit ton of money to do the same thing, but like in a more relaxed atmosphere? It's not as stuffy. You can wear shorts. You fly to other country. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't see the big deal.
Yeah, I mean, anybody would go for the money. I think the money. Listen, it's all about money, right? Pro sports is about money.
Everything's about money.
It's about getting paid. These guys play professional golf they play for money. So when they offer that much money, when somebody puts all that much money in front of you, it's tough to say no matter where it comes from. Look at Peter Uline. Well, he wasn't doing anything in the pros. He was struggling.
He hasn't done anything.
His pro career was on the ropes, as they say. But now he's playing with Liv. He's obviously playing well with Brooks's team. And obviously he had 2 top 5 finishes, I think, or top 4 finishes, maybe even. And he's obviously making some money and still playing golf, and he's able to kind of get himself together a little bit. So I think people that say you shouldn't go for the money, it's all about the money. Pro sports is all about the money. And even college sports now is about the money. I just think it's unfortunate that this President's Cup, more so than the Ryder Cup, because again, the Europeans are deeper than the internationals. The internationals don't have exactly a great line of a great depth chart. If we were to put it all on paper, I think it's too bad that this tournament is going to be a disaster, because I think the PGA Tour really needed this tournament to be something coming off of the 2 Liv tournaments and then the Fortinet Championship that saw Danny Willett 3-putt from 5 feet.
Crap his pants
to lose. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? I don't think.
The Ravens just signed Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh, good.
1 year deal worth up to $5.5 million.
Oh, good. As the Ravens coming to take on the Patriots this week.
They're gonna get slapped.
It feels like it. I'll be gearing up for the Tom Brady Aaron Rodgers game, but the Patriots going to get. I mean, I don't know.
That's going to be that Tampa Green Bay game's going to be sloppy as shit too.
Yes, everyone's
They
hurt.
both don't have anybody because I think Godwin's out. Evans is suspended.
Yeah, Julio Jones.
Julio Jones is their number one receiver.
Oh, I guess they said he practiced this week. I don't follow that close. I just like to watch.
And then Aaron Rodgers doesn't have anybody to throw to, so it's going to be that game's going to be a shit show in itself.
Yeah. And then at least I'm happy for my boy Jimmy G. Obviously,
What did I tell you? I said he was going to be in. He was going to be in by the second half of the second game.
Yeah, brutal injury for Trey Lance. Obviously, you don't know how to root for people to get injured, but obviously, especially like that. But obviously, happy for Jimmy G. He has to play on Sunday Night Football. So yeah, as we get delve into some other sports, what a debacle going on with the Boston Celtics. Their season is on the ropes before it even started, and all this comes
before training camp even starts.
Before training camp even started, and media day is on Monday.
Monday, right? Yeah.
So that's gonna be a shit show. It looks like, unless they get out ahead of it, but they still haven't released a statement regarding the Ime Udoka situation,
which means something's afoot.
So my educated guess, and I don't have necessarily inside information, but I understand how these things work. Obviously, I've been in the game. My educated guess is that there's something else going on. It wasn't just that he had a relationship with a female member of the staff. I'm guessing.
I mean, that doesn't warrant
something more to it.
Sorry.
There was something more. There's something more to it. Maybe it wasn't consensual. I mean, I'm not trying to accuse the guy of anything he didn't do. I'm just saying, possibilities. Or maybe it wasn't consensual somewhere. I don't know. But it feels like my guess is that there's something more to it. Now, I think the Celtics look terrible right now for not saying anything, because all kinds of names are being spewed about female employees that they're like Allison Feaster and some of these others that are all being speculation of who was that was involved, or who did what. So for a season that we're supposed to see the Celtics climb that mountain back, climb back to the mountaintop and win it this time, it looks like it's going to be interesting. More than interesting to get started. I guess Joe Mazzulla could be taking.
I was just gonna say, looks like Joe Mazzulla is gonna be at the helm.
Again, when one door, good things happen to if you're in the right spot. So if Mazzulla takes over and this launches his actual coaching career, that obviously would be a pretty cool story. Similar to Jimmy G and Trey Lance. Trey Lance gets injured, and Jimmy G now gets a second shot. Maybe now he plays well this year. It gets the 49ers back to the playoffs. Maybe in the Super Bowl. I mean, they're kind of a Super Bowl contender. San Francisco. They're kind of maybe not. I'm not saying they're the favorites, but they should be in the mix for assuming they continue to play well. So now maybe Jimmy G gets a bigger contract because of this. Now maybe Joe Mazzulla kind of gets his coaching career off the ground because of this. So who knows? It's all just speculation, but it's certainly been a bizarre few hours. I know me and you were up late last night chatting on Facebook when this thing broke, and we were both like, "What the hell is going on?"
Woj bomb
at 11 o'clock.
Woj bomb at 11:30 at night. Like, what the hell is happening? And then he just went to bed. Like, there was nothing. They didn't say anything else. Just that, and he went to bed. He shut Twitter off.
He tweeted,
like, what?
He tweeted. He did a hit with Scott Van Pelt at whatever time that was.
Yeah.
And then he went to bed, and then he got out-wojed by Shamus Charania.
Shams Charania.
Yeah. Shams out-wojed Woj.
Woj.
So my thought, and I said at the time, my thought was that Woj knew what happened, but he was trying.
Well, you said he was given the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
He was trying to give the Celtics a professional courtesy, because obviously it seems like it could be really bad, depending on what it is. But then the guy from the Athletics, like, I don't really care. I have the story. We're going with it, and we'll beat Woj. Woj beat everybody to the story, but then Woj kind of got beat to the story himself at the end of the day. So
Well, Shim's got that inside Boston info. So
yeah. And where do you think Woj got it from? The Boston Celtics. Somebody leaked something.
Somebody leaked it. Yeah.
Like you mentioned, there was that ABC, whatever the hell event that was. And
Yeah.
it came out after that. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The charity, whatever the hell it was. Yeah. ABC,
So then-
whatever it was. Yeah.
that came out after that. So maybe somebody leaked something there. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But anyway, it'll be a fascinating situation to watch throughout the weekend. You would hope the Celtics are going to make a statement or some sort before the media day. I mean, that would be a disaster if they didn't say anything. That would just be. I mean, I don't know who their crisis team is, but they're not doing a very good job of cleaning up the crisis at the moment.
My line's 10. My line's 10 for the Pats. By the way, they're going to lose by 10.
I mean,
Double digits.
that'd be pretty good.
Double digits.
They only lose by 10.
Oh, I should set the over at 10. Maybe. Your aunt's friend was pretty what's it called? Impressed that I called the double digit blowout to the Dolphins. So that day. She's like, I can't believe you called that. I'm like, it was pretty easy to see. So I'm calling this double digit blowout for the Ravens.
We had that Dolphins game pegged.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny was the Patriots got to such a good style. Like they actually looked like a real offense, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Then Mac to that pick, and it was like, oh, that's the end of that.
It's neither here nor there. I really don't think. I still think they would have gotten blown out even if they scored that touchdown. But
maybe, but at least they would have got off to a better start. You know, they would have give the defense something. Because then they didn't play well against Pittsburgh either. They should have lost that Pittsburgh game, but the punt went off the guy's head.
Yeah, Gunner.
And that's how they scored the 17 points.
Yeah, Gunner.
What you really do?
Gunner screwed that one up. Screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, so it should be interesting times in New England sports. After we had it so good for so long. Now it looks
So if Aaron Judge doesn't break the record tonight, nobody's going to see it because the game's on Apple TV tomorrow night.
Yeah, I heard that.
And they're not, and the MLB and the MLB and Apple are not budging. They're not going to put it on regular TV.
I would say Aaron Judge.
I mean, that's what everybody's saying they should do, which I agree they should. Absolutely.
But also, I wasn't listening. I listened to the video clips. I listen to Sports Talk Radio in New York a lot, just because it's entertaining. It's fun to get a different perspective. And they were saying, Boomer Esiason and Gio this morning on FAN, they were saying that they don't think the Red Sox are even going to pitch to Aaron Judge all weekend. They just walk him all weekend.
I mean,
ultimate like kicking the.
But for what? But for what though? Like, well, because they don't want to. They don't want to be the team that gives it up. I mean, whatever.
And by the way,
I don't know who gave up the Barry Bonds home. Nobody remembers that. Come on.
No, I tend to agree. But by the way, apparently, I don't know. I mean, I just heard this. Apparently, the Red Sox player gave up Maris's 61st home run. So both Judge and Maris.
Oh no shit! That'd be awesome.
Their record against the Red Sox.
Hey, well, whatever.
It's funny how the world works.
That's funny. That's awesome.
I don't know that I couldn't tell you who the player was or what, but that's what I heard that they said. FAN said
so
that
the game's on Fox, so I'm probably gonna watch that and not the football game.
Tonight it's on Fox?
Tonight it's on Fox, yeah.
Oh, it'll be on at the bar.
Yeah. So if we go to Laura's, I have zero interest in the Steelers Browns game tonight at all.
Yeah, I generally agree. I mean, it's only football, so
unless Najee Harris does something special, which
he could.
I mean, he's pretty good. So, but yeah, no, I'll be watching this. I'll be watching the Yankees game. It's not even I'll be watching the Red Sox. I'm strictly watching it for Judge.
Yeah, of course, everybody is.
Yeah, because the Red Sox are just freaking terrible.
That's the only thing that's worth watching is to see if he gets the record. Which I don't really think the record is that big of a deal, but I mean, I guess it's still an AL record.
That's what it was. at the beginning of the week, I was like, what the hell's the big deal?
Yeah.
Bonds hit 72 or 73.
Yeah.
But I forgot that
There's still an AL record.
that the AL record's still intact. So I didn't even I completely forgot about that when I was typing that post out. I was like, oh shit, yeah, the nobody from the AL has broken it. So
yeah. Oh. It puts baseball in the spotlight, which is probably what they needed this time of year to get them to baseball
to the playoffs.
You need something.
I can't wait for the playoffs. I love watching the playoffs.
I think
even if the Red Sox aren't in it, I still like watching the playoffs.
I think playoff baseball is great. The regular season, I don't have much use for.
Especially the first round.
Games,
the first round, you get like a quadruple header. You get games at noon, 4, 8, and 10, or whatever. Like on the West Coast, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, plus it's colder out, and it's it affects the game, and you can see these guys. Kind of bundled up, kind of thing. Playoff baseball is great. I don't have much use for the regular season, to be honest, but other than a handful of games or whatever that I watch, but playoff baseball is good. So yeah, so the positive is all the sports.
It looks like we got our first points.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Cantlay and Schauffele won 6-5.
Was it? I just saw this on Twitter, but I think Bob tweeted. Yeah, Bob Harry, my buddy Bob. You know Bob.
I was like, but Bob who? Like Uncle Bob? Did Uncle Bob tweet? I don't think he did.
You know my buddy Bob.
It's like Uncle Bob doesn't tweet. I know that.
Bob Harry tweets that the internationals have been ahead for one hole.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Yep. 1 hole and 1 match. Yeah.
1 hole, 1 match. So there's that.
Yeah, this could be a clean sweep. But yeah.
Yeah. So
we got the Pats versus the Ravens. We got Judge. I don't see it going probably past tonight or tomorrow or Saturday if they don't. Boone really should sit him on Friday night if he doesn't do it tonight.
That'd be a nice kick. Oh yeah, kicking the balls to Apple.
Of course, yeah. If you're not if you're not going to play ball, like this partnership's not going to work. You know what I mean?
So Apple,
it's already not working. Just look at friggin' Prime Video with the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Amazon Prime thing is interesting. I mean, Laura's.
I was pissed. I was so pissed last week.
Yeah, I should have told you to come to Laura's. So we went to Laura's. So they have.
I ended up watching the game. It was just so I like, if the game's a little boring or it goes to commercial, I switch channels. Yeah. So what I had to do was I put the game on my Xbox through the Amazon Prime app, but in order for me to go to cable, I had to switch the input on my TV. That takes 3 seconds. It was a rich world problems type of thing, type of deal. But it's just so annoying.
No, it's not rich world problems. It's
you know what I mean. It's something that I shouldn't complain about. You know what I mean?
Problems for a lot of people. And we only went. I probably wouldn't have watched it, but Caitlin likes Mahomes, obviously, so she wanted to go watch the game. So I messaged.
You guys don't have Prime?
There's ways we can get it. My brother Nicky has Amazon Prime, so you gotta give us his password. But
yeah.
But I messaged the people at Laura's, namely Jay. I said, "Do you guys have Amazon Prime? Do you guys have the game?" He's like, "Yep." I said, "All right." So we went. The place was packed, of course.
Well, that's gonna be a nice money maker on a Thursday for him, especially because
wing night.
You got wing night plus
the only place you can watch the games unless you.
That's what I mean. That's gonna other places aren't gonna want to shell out the business package for Prime because you got to it goes by. You can't just use a residential package.
Yeah, but there's a deal with sports bars with DirecTV. The Amazon Prime has a deal with DirecTV for sports bars.
Oh, okay. I know for normal bars, it's if you want to do UFC pay-per-views and stuff like that, it goes by they charge you by seat. That's how much you pay per pay-per-view for a business account. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, so we'll say Congress has we'll say they don't have 100, but let's say Congress has 100 seats. They'll give them a price based on 100 seat occupancy instead of buying the fight for $100 or $80 and then putting it on their TV. You know what I mean? They'll charge you like $10 a head or something like that. So it ends up being $1,000 instead of 80.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I never knew that. I just learned that. I learned that a couple of years ago from one of the people that come to the bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that we would normally know. I just knew about the DirecTV thing because everybody was scrambling to figure out how to watch the games, and then it came out there was someone on Sports Talk Radio that
especially given the fact that the first game was on NBC.
Right. Now the Patriots don't play on Thursday night until I think Thanksgiving, but there's another one of the Buffalo games is on Thursday Night Football. I can't remember which one it was. But one of the Buffalo games is on Thursday Night Football. But who knows? That season might be over by then anyway, so it might not really matter too much.
I'm still confident on my under 7.5 bet because they play the Jets twice. I think they get swept by Miami. They get there's a good chance they get swept by Buffalo, although something tells me that they could win one of those games. I still haven't really decided which one it would be, whether it be here or in Buffalo. Sweep the Jets, get swept by Buffalo and Miami. And then you got I think they play the Browns, right?
The Browns, the Bengals.
They play the Browns. That's a win. The Bengals, the Patriots could end up blowing out the Bengals at this point with how shitty Burrow's playing. So, that's definitely. I actually don't dislike the Bengals, and I actually kind of like Burrow. I really hope there's not something seriously wrong with him because he looks like trash.
Burrow, well, he's getting killed in the pocket.
Oh,
he's getting killed. That's the problem.
Killed. He's DOA. He's DOA before his head even hits the pillow.
That's the problem.
But yeah. So I'm gonna nail my set under 7.5. Yeah, under 7.5. I think they get 6 wins.
There you go. There you have it, folks. So yeah.
So you do two wins against the Jets, a win against the Browns, a win against the Bengals. 5, 6. Yeah, I'm confident with that. I'm confident with 6.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna end up running off like they're gonna win a Bills game and then they're gonna beat friggin'. Actually, the more that I think about it, I think they have a shot to beat Green Bay. By the way.
Yeah, I mean Green Bay
which might blow my under to hell. But,
the only thing is though that it's in Green Bay.
But it's warm Green Bay though. It's at what, 2 weeks? Next week? 2 weeks?
Next week.
It's warm Green Bay, so it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I mean obviously the ambiance of Lambeau is obviously going to be in the Packers' favor, but it's not like going to Lambeau in December or like end of November. You know what I mean?
The frozen tundra.
The frozen tundra. You know.
Next Sunday night's going to be a doozy. You got the Patriots and the Packers at 4:30. Then Brady and Mahomes.
And then Brady and Mahomes.
Caitlin and I will be sitting on opposite ends of the bar.
Mahomes by 25. They're going to blow them out. Yeah. But it's going to be a blowout. Absolute blowout. The Bucks have nobody.
But they'll have Mike Evans back by then. That's 2 weeks. It's still 2 weeks.
True.
I
think he's real effed up by this whole off season, by this whole off the field BS.
Maybe
that's not helping him. Obviously, like we said, Evans is out. Evans is suspended, and what's his face isn't playing. So, what the hell's his name?
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones is going to be their number one, and Godwin, I don't think is playing. I think he's hurt. So,
yep.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
interesting few weeks. But there's our tangent for the show.
Right.
Hope you'll enjoy the nonsense we just spewed there.
New alternate sports pod, other than
Yeah.
golf coming out soon.
alternate sports pod.
non-golf pod.
But yeah, so that's all we got. We again, thanks to everybody for doing the survey already. Again, this is a long haul. This is a long-term process, so they're not closing the link anytime soon. But maybe we'll do a data update in a few weeks because it is pretty cool to see the data that's coming in that we've already gotten from it. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for doing the survey. Again, it's totally anonymous. Feel free to share it with your friends, tell them to do it, share it with your club. We're trying to get upwards of 1,000+ responses for it to use the data and maybe even send it to people.
Did you share that? You shared that on Facebook already?
Yeah. The survey itself is actually embedded in an article on our website, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like there's not a separate.
Yeah,
link.
that's how I.
Yeah,
that's
the
how
survey
I.
is actually embedded in an article itself, which is neat, which is pretty good. I didn't realize you could do that, but I learned quickly.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, that's a good idea.
So you just can share the article, and I shared it to all the different pages and everything. So we're up to a decent start. So obviously people are working in the middle of the day, generally speaking, but yeah. So thanks everybody for doing the survey, and again, thanks last week for the Triggs forum. I thought it was timely and it was worth doing for even if it was only a 30-minute show. But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll talk to you this weekend. Enjoy the rest of the President's Cup as much as you possibly can enjoy it because it's gonna be over shortly.
as much as you can
Tune in
handle
soon.
and stand.
Tune in soon. It's over quickly. It's gonna be over soon. And then enjoy the football, and we'll talk to you all weekend long. Some big things coming up, obviously Patrick and the PGA Tour and college golf and other things as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Enjoy the fall golf season. We will talk to you next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. And as I always say, who knows what the golf world will look like then. This is the Golf Dudes podcast, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.